Lecture by CYC Chen Cynthia. You can pause anytime you need. 你可以随时按下暂停键。Hello everyone, today we are going to do the pencil crayon drawing. So, let's get your papers ready. You can use mixed media paper. Okay, that can be used for dry media and wet media. And of course, you can use the sketchbook. Okay, what kind of blend you have, you will see the sketch on the cover. Okay, what if you don't have any one of them? You can use the printing paper. Okay, so printing paper is working as well. Then, of course, you need to have the erasers, pencils, and the sharpener. Alright? And also I need you to prepare two different tracing markers. So I need to have two different sizes. One is like the fine markers. One is the thin marker like the needle. So you can compare these two are different. Alright? So you need to have your tracing markers ready. And of course, at the middle of the class, I will ask you to get your pencil crayons. Alright, we will going to color with the pencil crayon at the middle of the class. Alright, so let's get all the stuff ready for the class.
Hello everyone, in this class, class number 2, we're gonna learn about the perspectives. Alright, so let me write the perspective down so you have the basic idea because we're gonna say it very often in this class. Alright, about the perspectives. So what do we mean by perspectives? Perspective means we can show the space. Space. What do I mean space? The space that we can show which object is more close to us, which subject is at the middle, and which part is at the far back. So that's the space. Alright, so we will talk about the perspective. But when we said about the perspective, we will have 1 point perspective and 2 point perspectives and 3 point perspectives. Alright. So what do I mean by 1 point, 2 points, and 3 points? Alright. When we say 1 point perspective, 1 point. 1 point perspective. Alright, when we say 1 point perspective, which means we have a point right there. So we say that's VP, vantage point. Alright. So we use the point to create a 3D object. So that's the 1 point perspective. Alright, and how about 2 point perspectives? 2 points. We have 2 points. Alright, 1 and 2. So we will say that's VP 1 and VP 2. We use 2 points to create a 3D object. Alright, so you know what do we mean by 3 points? We use 3 points to create a 3D object. So we will say VP1, vantage point 1, vantage point 2, and vantage point 3. We use the 3 points to create a 3D object. Alright, so let me do it. So it looks like that. So it looks a little bit different, right? So let's see. From the 1 point perspective, the cube looks like, the front one looks like a square, right? So we say that's the face. when we start to do the 1 point perspective, we start with the face. When we start to do the 2 point perspective, I can't find any square, but we can tell that's the cube, right? But we start with the angle, the edge. We start with the edge to build our 3D object. And the 3 point perspective, we start a corner to do our 3 point perspectives. Alright. I understand it's a little bit confused. I just want you to have a basic idea. When we talk about the perspectives, it means space. The space can show the area. We can see the front, middle, and back. Right? We can use 1 point, 2 points, and 3 points. So that's our 1 point perspectives, 2 point perspective, and 3 point perspective. Alright, so we will start to do the 1 point perspective first to make you more understand from the beginning. So we're gonna start with a basic practice. Alright, I want to grab your pencil crayon with the colors, alright, so you won't confuse. So we're gonna start to do our 1 point perspective practice. Alright, so make sure you have the pencil crayon. So remember, we're gonna start with a point. So that is your vantage point. So you can have the point at anywhere on your paper. So I want to do my object on the left, so I'm gonna put my points on the right. So I'm gonna write VP, vantage point. Okay, I'm gonna write down. So I know that point is not the background, it's something that we need. Alright, so remember, for 1 point perspective, we start with the face. 2 points start with the edge. 3 points start with the corner. So we're gonna do 1 point perspective, right? So I wanted to do a box, a square. It could be a rectangle, but make sure it's like vertical and horizontal, super straight. Vertical and horizontal. It could be square, it could be rectangle, your choice. So let's start with a box first. Alright, so this is the face of the box. Alright, so if you have the ruler, that's good. You can grab your ruler. If you don't have any one of them, just freehand it. Alright, so I want you to find yellow or orange. Doesn't matter which one you like the most. Alright, so let me use the orange so you can see it's more clear. So how many corners that we have on the square? 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So I want you to connect the corner to the vantage point. So I'm gonna freehand it, so I have to eyeball it. It's straight, okay? Eyeball it is straight. Eyeball it is straight. Then I can do this one as well. A little bit wiggle. I'll try my best. Alright, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4 lines connect to my 1, 2, 3, 4 corner. Right? Okay, so I wanted to find a height in between number 2 and number 4. That's my number 4. That's my number 2. I want you to find a height in between, and it has to be a vertical line. Okay, straight up. So I can trace from the box, the corner of the box, on the number 2 line to touch the vertical line that I just made. From number 4 corner, follow the number 4 lines all the way to the vertical line that we just made. Alright, we got the side. Okay, and how about the top? Let's see. I use different color. Let me use the green one so you won't confuse. So now I want you to find number 1 and number 2 lines, 1 and 2 in between, and it has to be horizontal. From this corner, horizontal, straight, not the diagonal, has to be horizontal. In between number 1 and 2, and from number 1's corner, follow the number 1 line to touch my horizontal line. So now I got the top. Okay, so we have from the face, we have the side, we have the top. So that is the cube made by 1 point perspective. So I want to do one more practice. I want to place my, maybe right here, a little bit further away. Okay, another box. So that's face. Alright, same thing. I'm gonna name the corner 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, same thing. I'm gonna connect this, the corner all the way to the vantage point. Alright, to the vantage point, to the vantage point. Alright, so same thing. I'm gonna find the height between number 2 and number 4. A vertical line in between. Then I can trace from number 2 corner on the number 2 line all the way to touch my vertical line. From number 4 corner, trace on number 4 line to touch the vertical line I have. And what happened? I finished my side, but I'm not able to see the top and the bottom. This one, and you know why? Okay, so that's my vantage point. And this where my eye looking for. Okay, that's my eye looking for. My eyes. So which means I'm standing right here. Okay, I'm looking at the box or maybe the bookshelf. So that's me. I do this very quick. Alright, I'm looking at this direction. So my eye level is about this high. So what that means? Okay, so that's C. Pretend we are standing in front of a table. You can see the table top because you are higher than the table. So you can see the side of the table, and the top of the table, right? Because you are higher. So what do I mean by this situation? If you are higher, see, pretend this box is the table, and you are higher than the table. Are you able to see the bottom parts? No, you are not going to see the bottom part of the table, right? Because you are higher, you only can see the top of the table. So the eye level means that where you looking at how high it should be. If you are higher than the object, you can see the top of the object. If you are lower than the object, which means you are not going to see the top of the object. Alright, so it's a little bit confused, right? Okay, so let me use another sample to make sure you are understanding. Alright, so I'm standing right here. That's my stick man. My eyes right there. All right, that's me. Okay, so that's a table. That's a bookshelf. Bookshelf usually is higher, right? Okay, and that is the maybe the top. I have the lamp, the light, the ceiling light, and that's the ceiling. We are in this room. Okay, this is a room, and this is my eye. Okay, so when I'm looking down to the table, so what can I see on the table in these pictures? I can see the top, right? But can I see the bottom part of the table? No. All right, so when I'm looking up, all right, so can I see the top of the bookshelf? No, because it's higher. I only can see the side of the bookshelf, right? I'm not able to see the bottom part of the bookshelf as well because it's lower than my eye. And the top of the bookshelf is higher than my eye, so I only can see the side of the bookshelf. And when I look up to see the lamp, I only can see the bottom part of the lights, right? I'm not able to see the top of the light. Okay, so this is my eye level. So how high, where is my eye? Eye level. So now it's more clear. So what if I kneel down? Right, sometimes I like to sit on the ground to play the poker with my kids. Okay, so now this time my eye going to be lower. So my eye level become lower. So this is my eye level. I change the eye level because I sit on my ground. All right, so now let's see. I can see the bottom part of the table because my eye is lower than the table. So I can see the bottom part of the table now. But I'm not able to see the top of the table because now table is higher than me. So the same, I'm not going to see the top. I'm not going to see the top of the light. The only thing I can see is the bottom part of the light and the side of the bookshelf. All right, so that's the eye level, and where's the eye is your VP, the vantage point. That's the VP. Okay, so now you understand we are not going to change the vantage point, but we can place the subject into different space, but it will change. So if my box lower than my eye level, so I will see the face, size, and the top because it's lower. But when the eye level are in between the object, it was just like the bookshelf. I'm not able to see the top. I'm not able to see the bottom. I only can see the face, and the side. But if my object is higher, much higher than my eye level, I'm only see the bottom part of the object and not the top of the object. All right, so that is the 1 point perspective.
3, 2, 1.
Alright, so everyone, we're gonna use 1 point perspective to do a small practice. Alright, it's very easy and simple. So again, 1 point perspective, which means we need 1 point. So same thing, I want you to find the vantage point at everywhere on your paper. And I want to have my box, my object is right on the left side. So I need more space on the left. So I'm gonna put my vantage point on the right. So my VP. You don't have to do that big because I just want you to see it. So I will do it bigger so you can see it from the screen. Okay. So don't forget to write the VP. Vantage point. Alright? The small VP. Not clear. Let me do it with the Sharpie. Alright, so for the vantage point, we done. Then we have to start with the object. So 1 point perspective, we always start with the box, right? A face. So I'm gonna do my object right here. We start from here. So I do it very, very light. A box. Alright, so I'm gonna do it with the gift box. Okay, let me use the darker pencil so you can see it. Where is my darker pencil? Right here, 3B. So I'm gonna do the gift box. So I have a top, the lip of the box. Straight, straight, straight. So the top is a little bit wider and the bottom part is a little bit stringed. So you see here has something looks like the stair, right? So that's this. Okay, then same thing, I'm gonna connect the corner. So top is the rectangle, the bottom part is the rectangle. Okay, you don't have to do the same scale. You can have your box a little bit longer, wider, shorter, up to you, your choice, but not too small. All right, so we're gonna connect the corner to the vantage point, just like the practice we did. Corner, corner. See, I can freehand it. You can freehand it too. The top. Okay, so we're gonna find the height, vertical line in between here. Then a little bit shrink it straight down so I can trace it. All right, and the top we have to do, make sure it's like the horizontal line, not the diagonal line of the paper. It has to be the horizontal line of the paper. So horizontal line in between the line and trace the diagonal line right here. So that's the basic box. All right, so we're gonna do some decorations. So I want to put the ribbons. All right, so the ribbon has to be straight. Same thing in between here and there. All right, then I have to erase the line in between because the ribbon gonna cover the box, right? It's not going to show up, so we have to erase it. All right, then from these two lines, okay, how can we do the top? So let's do this too. It's very easy. So we just do this here, line a horizontal line of the paper, all the way touch this diagonal line. Same thing, a corner, a diagonal line into that. And how about this too? We have to connect these two corners into the vantage point. So we have to pretend it. So it was right here. Simple. So we're done with the box. All right. So the next part, you have to grab your pencil crayons. All right. So we just learned the perspective. So we learn what is perspective and how we use the 1 point perspective. Okay, so this is a simple object for today. So I hope that you can practice at home as much as you can, so you can keep that knowledge into your mind deeply, so you won't forget. So when we start to do the 2 point perspective, you won't confuse. All right, so I know it's a little bit dry, it's a little bit boring, or sometimes you feel a little bit difficult. So I will slow down to make the object become simple until we used to it. Then we will start to do something more difficult or more creative. All right, so we finished the 1 point perspective practice for today. So now I want you to do the coloring. All right, so I'm not going to make your life so easy. All right. Okay, we have to talk about light and shadow. So you have to choose a light source. Where is the light coming from? That's my light. So the light's coming from here and there and there. So now we have face number 1, the top. Face number 2. Face number 3. So 1, 2, 3. Which side is the brightest? The top, right? So which side is the darkest? This one. Because why is not number 2? Because it's when the light hits on the table, it will flat the light on this side. But here, we are not going to see the light on number 3, right? The light is not going to touch number 3. So the topper's one is the brightest. The number 2 is the middle, and number 3 is the darkest. All right, so the shadow will start from number 3 and number 2 on the table as well. So this area will be the shadow part. So I want you to grab your black pencil crayon. I want you to color slightly darker, just right under. A little bit. That's it, about a pencil's size. All right, and same thing on the number 2 side. All right, then you can find your gray colors. Which gray is better? This one. So do the slightly shadow inside the box that we just made. Okay, so normally the light is higher, the shadow is shorter. The light is lower, just like in the afternoon. Your shadow is getting longer and longer than the noon, right? So when the light, if you decide your light is right on top of the ceilings, then your shadow is a little bit shorter. But if the light is on the table, the shadow will look much longer because the light is lower. Okay, so shadow is also showing where is the light. Is on the top, at the middle, or at the bottom. So you have to think about it when you apply the shadow. Okay, the longer shadow means the light is lower, the shadow looks shorter, which means the light is right on the top. Okay, all right, so now feel free to color your gift box. Okay, so remember the topper's color is brighter, the side is the middle, and the number 3 is the darkest. You can use any colors. So I want you to use the blending colors, okay? So I want to use the sample, the ribbons. Dark, medium, light. Then upside down. Blending the color, dark, medium, light. Okay, so I'm gonna do is on the bow side with the same color tone, blending color with the 2 same color. So let me do a little bit quick so I can show you and you have enough time to practice in the class. Alright, okay, so remember I said number 3 is darkest, number 2 is the middle, and the topper's one is brighter. So I'm gonna do the cup a little bit light. Okay, but number 2 and number 3 looks like the same, right? So what can I do? I will choose a darker color to cover on top. So I'm gonna use the brown color, and I'm not going to cover it too heavy. I just slightly color, but I can still see the purple under it, isn't it? So I color very light, but I just like adding the shadow on top of the ribbon. So now you can see this side looks darker than number 2, but we can barely to see the color below, right? We can still see a little bit red, a little bit purple under. So that will be the same thing for the gift box. All right, so now is the time for you to start to color your gift box and showing me the brightest parts, the middle parts, and the darkest side. All right, so you can begin. that's everything that we practiced for today. So let me do the quick review for everyone. So today we talk about the perspective. Perspective means a space. We can see the front, middle, and the back, right? So basically we can say we can see a 3D space, not just a flat space, a 3D space. So that's the perspective. And we talk about the 1-point perspective. 1-point perspective, and we practice about the 1-point perspective to build a object, a gift box. Then we do the color, value, and color into color blendings. Okay, then we talk about the light and shadow. Okay, remember when the light is higher, the shadow is shorter. When the light is lower, the shadow goes longer. Alright, so that's everything for today, and I hope that you can practice something small at home. Okay, so you can try to do a pencil box or a Lego or something like the box, like the cube. So they are easier to practice. Alright, so next week we will start to do something a little bit more detailed with 1-point perspectives. So hopefully you can have a better understanding about the perspective joint.
When you complete your drawing, sign the name and write down the date. 完成画作之后，签下你的名字，跟写上日期。Bye bye, see you next time.